Hey everyone, my name's Matt.
Hey, I'm Jimmy, and welcome to the first installment of our series, "How I Got My Job in Crypto." But Matt, like, what are we doing here, Matt?
So, Jimmy, we are starting Crypto Talent Stack, which is an online community for starting and building your career in crypto.
Yeah, and I like this, and I'm just like so excited to start this with you, right? And we sort of created this vision at a coffee shop in Portland, Maine. But the idea is we want to build this community of folks to either start their career in Web3 or to advance their career. And we're envisioning it as two parts, right? So it's like this resource hub where the first part is content, right? We're going to provide education, interviews, all this sort of stuff to help people get smarter to advance their career. And the second piece is community, where we're starting with an email distribution and a Discord. We'd love for you to join, but we're going to have a whole bunch of people in there that can provide mentorship. We'll do AMAs, and of course, we'll have exclusive job listings. So really excited to kick this off.
Sounds like good value.
I love it. Always be pitching, Matt. I love it.
Well, it is free, so I mean, you can't beat the price.
So I think one of the things that makes sense to kind of start with is like, why did we do this? And Matt, for me, like, I know that I was really excited to help start this with you because I just love mentoring people. It's something I've always done, anyways. And when I was able to get my job in the crypto Web3 industry, I just noticed like so much passion of folks who also wanted to join that industry, but there was just a genuine gap of like, how do I actually get started? Like, where do I start? What are the good places to work? What are the places that maybe I should avoid? And I think this is an opportunity for us to do something that we enjoy, but also fill this gap and solve this problem for a lot of people out there.
Absolutely, and I've noticed a lot of the same things. What I've found is that there's no good single gateway for people looking for jobs or to advance their career in crypto. There's a bunch of random cryptojobs.io or whatever, and they're all about like 1/10 of what you would want in a career hub. So they're not particularly helpful, and they're all super fragmented, and it almost seems like you have to go to like each one just to like check different jobs and to read all the resources, which sounds like an overcomplicated solution to a pretty simple problem. So as someone who's gone through this process before, I was really excited when you approached me with this. And, I think the crypto world really needs one single place where uh, we can really serve a passionate group of people looking to either get a job in crypto or to advance their career in crypto.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the jumping off point for this series, right? So we're calling it "How I Got My Job in Crypto," and like Matt, like what's on tap here? What are we doing with folks?
So, Jimmy, what we want to do is we want to talk directly to crypto career professionals and hiring managers, and we want to hear about their experiences, how they got their job from in crypto from traditional industries or even straight out of school in Web3, top skills to know, and other tangible advice for job seekers. Not any of that cookie cutter stuff, such as like polish your resume or whatever. We want to like really get down to the nuts and bolts of how you get your resume in front of hiring managers' eyes, and how you get from interview to trial assignment to job offer. So speaking of crypto professionals, Jimmy, how did you get your start in crypto?
Yeah, I think this is a good place to start because I think the challenge I ran into is something that a lot of people run into. And so one of our observations that is a theme throughout all of our content is that, right, like I ran into this chicken and or egg problem, right? Like in order to get into this Web3 crypto industry, you need experience, but it's really hard to get experience. And so how do you solve this challenge of trying to break in when like it's really hard to jumpstart, right? There's this like cold start problem with getting a job in crypto. And so the way that I was able to kind of break through that or to find a way to jumpstart it was this idea of like, well, you just need to embrace like the permissionless ethos of Web3, right? So the way that worked for me personally was that you really need to embrace this ethos of like permissionless. It's an open system, right? If no one's out there willing to give you experience, like then you need to create it for yourself. So what I actually did was I had a hard time, finding someone who was going to hire someone without crypto experience. So what I did was I actually had this idea to start a company, and I got pretty far along. It was this idea to use NFTs for loyalty memberships, and I talked to a couple DAOs. I found some cool technology. I actually got a DAO grant to build this thing. I started talking with prospective customers, and I got pretty far along the process of like starting this company. And even though I didn't launch it, the fact of doing this, meeting these people, doing this whole deep dive, learning all this stuff, that actually became my resume. And then all of a sudden, with all this experience, I was able to find a few, job offers that were really impressed by this, right? And that's how I broke in and solved this cold start problem for myself. I think a lot of folks have a similar story. I know, Matt, yours is sort of tangential to this as well.
Totally. My experience getting into crypto very closely mirrored my experience after I graduated college, which, you know, if you don't have like multiple internships under your belt, or your dad is not the CEO of the family company, then you're essentially starting at zero and you're buried in a sea of applicants. So rather than just spray and pray applying to hundreds of jobs and hoping for a miracle, and that someone would, read your cover letter saying that you're passionate about crypto, hire me, I thought I would take matters into my own hands and do something, which was to build. And in my case, I'm a copywriter and content editor. So building for me was writing. So I started a personal finance blog. I ran that for 4 or 5 years. And, I wrote a whole bunch of different content, did market analysis, SEO. It was a really great experience and I built a lot of skills. But even after all that time, I think net, I probably lost money on it because it was not about building a business. It was more about building a brand and working on a project that could showcase my skills and abilities. So, even though, after 4 or 5 years, like I could have made more money just putting that money into an index fund, that really started to pay dividends when later in my job search, I got a DM on AngelList from the founder of a crypto company. And this guy's face was on the cover of Fortune magazine. And he specifically referenced my personal blog as the reason that he was interested in me applying for an open job that they have. So in my case, my blog led to freelance gigs in crypto, which led to recurring freelance work, which led to a full-time job.
If we could distill all of our advice in a common thread and all the content that we're doing, right, it comes down to like just build, baby, right? If it's not there for you, just build it and see what happens. And to an extent, that's what we're doing with this community with Crypto Talent Stack. So, we saw a gap. We want to help people get jobs. We want to help people advance their careers. And so, but there needs to be a forum to do it. So we're gonna be building it, and we invite you guys to come along for the journey. This is the first video of the series, but we already have a lot of interviews lined up. We have technical people, non-technical people, so people, professionals in the Web3 crypto industry. And we're just going to try and bring a bunch of perspectives, a lot of knowledge straight to you guys, and to just kick off a really high value series. So we're excited to do it.
Yeah, so our next video is coming up soon. But in the meantime, if you're passionate about crypto, you want tangible and actionable guides to working in Web3 and access to exclusive crypto jobs directly from recruiters, go ahead and join our email list on cryptotalentstack.com and join the free Discord in the description below.